SpaceX, founded by Elon Musk in 2002, aims to create rockets and spacecraft to transport people from Earth to outer space. This led them to manufacture prototype rockets to start with their project in sending people from Earth to the Moon, Mars, and other distant destinations. SpaceX engineer John Insprucker, the head of the project, continues to create the perfect rocket for the project to be carried. SpaceX SN11, the latest prototype rocket to be sent to Mars, is said to have crash landed. According to Insprucker, SN11 ascended normally and appeared to be well before onboard cameras lost signal. SpaceX will also share an update after checking the crash site that the airship is at. Elon Musk, CEO and founder of SpaceX, said that the Starship SN11 crashed due to a plumbing problem. Musk declared that a small portion of methane leaked that led to creating fire on Engine 2 and fried the avionics that caused the landing burn in CH4 turbopump. This was the conclusion SpaceX determined after analyzing the Starship's remains. SN11 is said to be the fourth prototype that has failed to launch and crash landed, such as the Starships before it, which are SN8, SN9, and SN10. Starship SN8 was the very first prototype in late last year, which was made last December 2020, which resulted in a crash land after flying 6 miles above the ground. SN9 was made in February 2021. It flew higher than the previous prototype but also ended in a crash land. While SN10, after flying above and had malfunction, it landed on the ground in one piece where it exploded 8 minutes after landing. So we can safely say that out of all the prototypes, SN10 was the one that gave off a splendid performance before it exploded. Well, this is just our opinion. What about you guys? Which prototype do you think was closest to achieving SpaceX's mission to send people to Mars? Well, whichever it is, doesn't matter, because according to Musk, these failures continue to give SpaceX the motivation in achieving their mission to give people access in going to the Moon, Mars, and other distant places. Musk continues to devote himself to finding the perfect formula for the perfect rocket to send people to Mars, and they are planning to create the next prototype, which is the Starship SN15. That's right! From SN11, they will go to SN15, and they should be exploring the sky soon this April. While this project is on track, Musk also mentioned that SpaceX intends to use the Starships for different kinds of purposes, like shuttling customers between cities at breakneck speeds, aiding NASA's moon landing efforts, and eventually launching cargoes and human missions to Mars. Even though SpaceX's Starship is still in the early development of their stage, they aim to conduct regular flights of their Starships in 2023 and hope that their vehicles will reach the end of orbit by the end of 2021. Musk even stated that it is not yet certain for them to achieve this deadline, but they will do their best to make ends meet. At first, Elon Musk declared last December 2020 that SpaceX could send people to Mars by 2026. But now, it has been updated to 2024 because of the extraordinary efforts that the people of SpaceX did. But out of all the distant places, why did SpaceX prioritize Mars? That is because Mars is the Earth's closest habitable neighbor, with an average distance of 140 million miles. It is half as far as the Sun, and just like Earth, which has decent sunlight, it's also a little cold, but according to SpaceX, they already have the means to warm it up. Its gravity is also about 38% that of the Earth, so lifting heavy objects is a piece of cake. Furthermore, the day is just close to Earth. According to the recent study of SpaceX, Mars is about 6,791 kilometers in diameter. 24 hours and 37 minutes in day length, and is 4.5 billion years old, which makes it older than Earth. Mars is considered, or what you call the red planet, due to its soil is like rusty iron. Traveling to Mars would usually take up 6 months to arrive and another 6 months back to Earth, so it would take a total of a year to travel back and forth. According to NASA, Mars is not yet hospitable to humans due to its radiation-reduced air pressure, and the atmosphere is only 0.16% of oxygen. So while the construction of the Starship is being worked on, SpaceX is also studying on how to begin the habitat of human beings on Mars. This is a challenge for Musk and the other people behind SpaceX, because they would need to invest more time and effort in building the Starship needed, and of course, the means of adjusting the atmospheric conditions of Mars before they can declare that it is now safe to live on the planet. But when Mars is now habitable, and if you would have the opportunity to go to Mars, would you go? Would you also consider living on Mars and leave everything behind on Earth? What do you want to know more about? Tell us and let us talk about tech.